Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just got a brand new update for King Arthur Legends Rise. We've got 2 rate up heroes, including 1 brand new character to the game. We've also got some events that we're going to touch on, but let's get started with these characters. The first rate up hero we're going to take a look at is Gilroy. Yes, he has been in the game for a while. I don't really see too many uses for him out there. He isn't one of those characters that has been widely used, but just be aware that they have done a few adjustments to his character. So if you do already have him in your roster, you may find that he's a lot more useful than what he was. I'm not going to read out all of the changes because I don't want to bore the hell out of you guys. The only thing that I do want to bring up, if you do use him as a leader for any of your teams, whether it be in dungeons or maybe even in clan wars, he did have a leadership ability for effect accuracy. That has now been changed to attack. It's probably the only change that some of you guys may be a little disappointed with, because I know that effect accuracy could be a strategical thing. When you put him in that leadership position, a lot of those effects would come off a lot more often. So just take that into consideration if you do use him as a leader for any of your teams. All of the other changes do look quite positive, so if you don't use him very often, you may want to try and put him in a few teams and see if you can just get a bit more out of him compared to what you used to. Now, the other rate up hero that we've got, you've probably seen that on the thumbnail already. We have Brennan coming into the game. You would have seen him on a lot of the loading screens and encountered him during the story at certain points. He looks like he's going to be a really good defender to have in your team. I was hoping that the next new hero that they add to the rate up system was going to be a defender, so I will be adding him to my roster very soon. We'll have a look at his kit and everything once I do summon him in, see what I've got available to do some upgrades on him and maybe do a little bit of testing for him. But before I summon him in, I just want to touch on a few other things that we've got in this update. First of all, if you don't have Nika in your team, if you missed that from the rate up event a few months ago, she has now been added into the special summons, so you do have a chance to get her like any other legendary. I also want to have a quick look at the events here because there's a lot of really cool prizes. If you are free to play, you have to make sure that you do complete these events as best as you possibly can. You're missing out on so many rewards if you don't try and do them. First of all, Brennan does have his own dungeon, pretty much the same way that Charlotte had her dungeon event back when she was first available. There are 2 difficulty levels. You don't need Brennan to be able to do these dungeons. However, they do design them so that the more difficult levels are really catered to his kit to get past them. So you may need Brennan and some upgrades to complete the whole lot. Otherwise, there are still plenty of rewards just pushing through as far as you can, even getting those event tokens just so that you can spend them in the store. You're going to get plenty of rate up tokens along the way as well, so make sure you're saving them up. But there are also some legendary summon tokens in the store, so the more tokens that you do save up, you're going to be able to get a guaranteed legendary into your roster. But if you do summon Brennan, there are 2 events that are going to help you out quite a lot with some rewards. The first one actually has a whole heap of things in there that are going to help you upgrade him. And funny enough, you earn points in this one by upgrading him. So as you do your basic upgrades, you're going to get more materials to be able to upgrade him further and hopefully complete this event, which you're going to have a lot of really cool rewards from. The second event is from farming the frozen plains. Now, because he does have that recovery disruption, it's going to work really well. Normally you'd use someone like Accolon or Morgan in there to apply those effects to the polar bear. He is going to replace one of them, and by using him on that dungeon, you're going to be getting more points, and there are a lot of rewards in there as well, including a lot of upgrades for your relics. Now, you don't have to go and summon Brennan to have all the fun. There are some other events that anyone is going to be able to complete. The first one is just by using stamina. The top reward is for 3,000 stamina, and you're going to be able to get that pretty easy. You've got just under 7 days to complete this. And if you're thinking that 3,000 stamina is quite a lot, well, yes, it is a lot. You are right there. Even free to play, just the stamina that you would get each day, just with your daily rewards included, you'd easily be able to get over the 2,000 in that amount of time. But there are 2 other events that are going to really help you out to complete that one. The first one here is the Arena Challenge. Now, for each level of this one, every 5 battles that you do, you're going to be able to earn another 50 stamina. The top reward requires 50 arena battles. You don't have to win, you've just got to participate in 50 arena battles. By completing this event, that's going to get you a total of 500 stamina. So that's easily going to go towards that 3,000 and help you to complete it. If you're not entirely sold just yet, the raid bounty this week is for Gorgos. And by completing this event, you will get yourself another 500 stamina out of that. The easiest way to complete both of these is just by grinding Gorgos, because you're spending the stamina on Gorgos to get more stamina, and that's just going to help you complete both of those events. Along with the arena battles, all of these are free to play. You can grind the 50 arena battles out in one day if you really want to do that. I'd probably divide it up over a couple of days unless you're really keen on playing arena. But these rewards are easily available to every single player. You're not spending any money to get these rewards, you're just simply playing the game. The other good thing about grinding Gorgos over the next week is we still have those Pranksters gift boxes available. So if you're grinding Gorgos, you're going to be getting plenty of them, and there are some really good rewards in them, so make sure you're collecting as many as you possibly can. Now, before I get to summoning, I just want to let you guys know I am starting a playthrough series of Assassin's Creed Shadows on my channel as well. I'll leave a link to the first episode at the end of this video. I'd be really happy if you guys join me for that one as well. I'm going to be taking my time, so I'm going to have plenty of things to see, plenty of things to do. I'm not just going to be rushing through the story just to get to the end of it, so hopefully that'll be a lot of fun for everybody. Now let's head across to the lake, and we're going to get Brennan summoned into the team right now. As you can see, every resource that I've got here, I have been saving up. This is entirely free to play. No money at all has been spent. So let's get to our first lot of 10. And just a reminder, you do need 60 rate up tokens to guarantee the summons. If you do not have them, you can use crystals. You will need 9,000 crystals if you don't have any tokens at all. The odds are pretty low to get the character early, so don't waste them if you can't guarantee it. Now, don't tell me I've got this on the second pull. Are you serious? I've got a legendary on the second pull. Surely they didn't give me Brennan straight away. Let's just scroll through these quickly, see what we've got here. That doesn't sound like... Oh, it's Bedivere. Okay. Well, that's still pretty good. I think I've got him at C1 at the moment, so any upgrades for Bedivere are always welcome. I'm going to be happy to take that one. Thought I turned myself into a liar for a second there, but no, the odds are very low to get the rate up character early, so you're pretty much having to do all 60 attempts in order to unlock them. I would be very surprised if I got it any earlier than that. So let's move on. This will be number 4 or 40. What have we got in here? It's always good to get more blues. I want to get all the chivalry done on as many of the rare characters as possible. The common and uncommon I don't really care all that much about. I tend to just trade all of those shards in, and hopefully I'll be able to save up enough of those tokens to be able to get a legendary, either one that I don't have on the roster, or at least being able to boost the chivalry for some of them. Still not much there, but this is the one here. Brennan will definitely be in this one, otherwise I'm gonna feel quite gypped. Let's just scroll through these rewards here and get to our legendary. Brennan is going to be in the house, ladies and gentlemen. My first rate up summon is complete. He does actually look pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of like a brutal version of Davy Jones, really, like a Viking Davy Jones or something, but either way, he still looks pretty cool. So let's go and do some upgrades. I'll see how far I can get him. Then we might have to farm a few other things and take a bit of a look at him. Didn't get quite as far as I was hoping, but that's fine. We want to be able to test him out and do a little bit of farming anyway, so that's not a problem. Actually, we will have some event rewards that I could use to possibly get a little bit more out of him. Yeah, look at all those rewards. That's pretty cool so far. I'll definitely be able to finish this one off. At least I'm pretty sure I will. But those blue stones are the ones that I need just to get his level up a little bit higher. So let's claim all of these. I'll get back, I'll do the upgrades, and we'll have a quick look at his kit before we test him out. Looks better, but still usable. Take a look at his first ability here. That 50% to apply recovery disruption on his basic is going to come in very handy. While the second ability gives himself and the ally with the lowest health a barrier so that they can block some of those attacks. The most important thing though for this second ability is that taunt. By having that taunt, you're going to be able to attract all of those attacks towards Brennan and protect the rest of your team. With his barriers and his counter attacks, that is going to be something that could be invaluable to your team. If you pair him with a couple of good healers, you're really going to be able to keep him alive, and because he's protecting those healers as well, they're just going to be able to keep topping up the team with extra health. I already have a little combination in mind for what I want to try out with him. Maybe it's not the best, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. So having a look at his third ability here, and you can see we have more recovery disruption. When this is fully upgraded, you're going to be able to apply that with 100% chance and also apply it for 2 turns. So if you can get that one maxed out, another really handy ability that you're going to have. But where he really shines is going to be in his skills. Now the first one will only apply if he is in a team with other bull favor, where he will increase their defense. And that can even include some rare heroes like Clementine, Accolon, and Arthur, who some people would have already put a lot of resources in early on in the game, so you might find some extra use out of that. You don't just have to use him with legendary heroes, although I'm sure that if you have developed them, it'd be much more beneficial. His second skill here grants all allies a barrier at the start of the battle, which blocks 3 attacks for 1 turn, and that's without it being upgraded. You can increase that to blocking 5 attacks for 2 turns once it's fully upgraded. If your team is a little bit slower, this is a great way to counter that and take some of those bigger hits early on in the battle and save some of your heroes from basically getting one shot early on. And for the last skill that we've got here, this is another one that's going to come in handy, because while you do have that barrier, if he does get hit, he will counterattack all enemies with a 50% chance to apply recovery disruption. So plenty of recovery disruption for this character. If they do have some effective healers, this is just going to take them completely out of the match. So let's have a quick look at him in action while I farm some of these stones for the upgrades. just slow that down a bit so we can actually see what's going on here. Now, for his gear, it does recommend 6 defense and the Unity keepsakes. But if you guys do have any better ideas of what might work for him, please put that in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. It's always good to know if there are some other combinations out there that work. You can see that's his counter attack there while he's got that barrier up. The team that I'm using is with him as leader because he does give himself that extra 20% defense, which is just going to add to some of the damage that he's able to do. Now, I haven't upgraded his gear yet because I just don't have the gold to be able to do that. I also don't have any of the keepsakes on him yet because I don't have any Unity for him. But I am running him with Ain as the attacker. Because she can be a little bit squishy, he's going to help protect her early on. And also having Jillian and Vivian as the healers, they're just going to keep topping the team up. And if he can take a lot of those hits, they're not really going to get touched. So as long as they can keep healing both Brennan and Ain and keep them alive, then Ain is just going to be doing so much damage, and Brennan just there to protect the team and stop the opposition from healing. It could be a really interesting combination to run. Now, this isn't an incredibly difficult battle, I know. I don't have the resources to justify trying anything more difficult. It's going to take a while to upgrade everything. I won't run through all 5 of these battles. I just need enough to be able to get those fairy stones and do that final upgrade so that I can try and get him up to level 60 if I do have enough potions left. Let's just jump forward in time so we can see what we've got here. And can I get him up to, oh, of course, level 55. Well, I guess that's just going to have to do. Lucky I'm going to be doing a lot of farming on Gorgos, so that's not only going to get me gold, but it's also going to get me those extra potions that I'm going to need to level him up. But I think that's just about going to wrap things up here today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget, like and sub, you know the deal. I got plenty more Legends Rise coming your way, as well as my Assassin's Creed Shadows playthrough. Don't miss out. And I'll catch you in the next one.